first.
Huh?
I don't clap first. Wait, no, I do clap first. You're right.
I thought I was
okay,
yeah.
So, so I clap. One of us clap.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Go ahead, clap.
No,
go ahead. You got it. Just clap different at the different like beats. Like, okay, whatever.
There you go.
There we go. Good. All right. Welcome back to the Mental Lab, guys. I am super excited to do this. I've been telling you about it all season. I've been waiting on this for like the last few months, but I've had this great idea, and I've told you guys before, I'm going to quickly go over it. This is the Human Library. For those of you who are new to the channel, to the community, welcome. I want to say thank you for clicking on this because I got something good for y'all today. But today is one of the episodes for our very first seasonal event, the Human Library. Basically what it is you guys get the chance to read a book, read a person without judging them, without any context of who they are, and then kind of learning about them, and we get to talk about some of like their journey and, you know, who they are today, who they used to be, a lot of that kind of stuff. So I got a really good treat in store for you guys, and make sure you stay tuned for the entire episode because it's going to be jam-packed. I already know it. So I am your host with the least, as you already know. I'm Charmy, and
I'm over here, Kevin. I'm the invited person.
You're the goat. You're the ghost. You're the goat.
I'm the goat.
He's the goat.
I'm the goat. Yeah.
So Kevin and I, actually, you can tell them where we met. Yeah, I don't want to divulge your own information, even though you know.
I met Charmy a long time ago.
Yeah.
I met him when he was fucking me up in boot camp.
Oh yeah.
Getting me IT. I was like, who the fuck is this person? But hey, shit happens. And then we went to therapy together and became pretty close.
Just like me and Tati, and that's where we met him at. Obviously, like, I'm not gonna divulge somebody else's, you know, like identity.
Yeah.
Identity. Right. I'm not gonna. I can't like legally can't divulge anybody else's identity who has gone to, you know, therapy with me. However, if, you know, they come on the show and they tell you, and that's how we met, hey, well, now you know. Just like me and Tati. I talk about therapy all the time, you know, blah, blah, blah. That place was
awful.
It was something else.
Yes.
It was a learning experience. It kind of helped me get to a little bit functionality. Yes. It helped me learn a lot about awareness and stuff. But, you know.
Course, most definitely.
Yeah. So, anyway, since we have those formalities out of the way, I want to quickly give you guys that trigger warning. Some of the topics that we might talk about in today's episode and just throughout the season, especially whether it's the audio podcast, the video podcast, whichever one, may be emotionally triggering for some of you guys. We talk about lots of different things, and I know with each book, you guys are probably going to hear a completely different trigger. I don't know. He probably has some triggers that might let you know.
Most definitely, I have a lot. I have a life full of triggers. Honestly, I do.
So if you do find yourself triggered at all, and Kevin, you can do this too. If you do find yourself triggered at all, I want you to go to your nearest Popeyes, wait in line for 3 hours, wait for that chicken sandwich. As soon as you get that chicken sandwich, I want you to take the bread off, throw it out the window, and eat the rest of the sandwich.
Exactly.
And then I want you to find your way to the nearest computer or use your phone to go to our website, officialmentallab.com/resources. There you can find over 70 different resources to kind of help you out, with your loved ones as well. Anybody who, you know, you're concerned about, you can just get them some help. It's not always necessarily going to be like an emergency evacuation to like a psych ward or anything like that.
Most definitely no.
But it's gonna. There's a lot of different resources that can help you out. So make sure you visit that website. Along with, while you're visiting the website, make sure you check out our season 2 merch. It's always getting updated with new things from the episode. I'll tell you right now, something he says is probably gonna get put on a shirt. I'm just saying that right now. It's probably gonna get put on a shirt, and look, you support. But remember, the proceeds to that goes right back to the community, goes right back to you guys. And I've already told you guys some of my goals. Some of the goals are to be able to, you know, have a grant that the community can give to like a family, and to, you know, other people and people of our community to like be able to help them when like they're going through times of need, you know. Yes. Just in case, like, for instance, you know, a few years ago, my sister attempted suicide, and I I was devastated, and I know my mom was devastated, my family was. But if it would have gone through, or even if not, just that trauma, lots of people don't have money to go, get therapy. And that's something that, I think really needs, to happen. So I would love for us to be able to, just grant families like maybe like 4 weeks of therapy, like, they go like once or twice a week, things like that. I would love to do that kind of stuff. So that's the purpose of the merchandise, not just to make money, because I'm all right and I'll be good. So, all right. So anyway, just like that, all that's done. Kevin, how are you? How have you been? What's been going on? The petty, juicy stuff, like, yeah.
So let me tell you, this thing, I cannot believe what happened today. So I was in security screens this morning.
Oh my God.
And, like you warn people with the little one, and it goes beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, like the security one.
And yes, and normally it has, when people have belts, it goes beep, beep, beep on the belt part, right? So this lady had no belt. She had just like joggers.
She had a chastity thing on.
No, she had nothing, and I'm just going.
She had nothing on.
No, just she has her pants. Just regular joggers. She has just regular joggers, right?
Look, it's been a long day. I thought
she had joggers and a sweater. So I normally I was like, man, Ken, like, I'm gonna warn you down. And I just go like that, and her private area, it just go beep beep beep, and I'm like, I'm gonna go up again. So I was like, beep 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 beep, and I was like, ma'am, I mean, I'm trying to be inappropriate, but it says like it's vibrating on, your stuff.
Right.
And she's talking about, don't worry about it. It's just I got my vibrator on then, and then my husband got the little controller, and I was like, you're good to go, man. Just let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. And she was just so calm, but she was just like so open about it, and everybody on security was like,
how old was this lady?
She was like probably like late 20s, early 30s.
Okay, so you started the story off, and because I know visitors to the base, where like the recruits come and they graduate and that kind of stuff, typically it's like parents. So I'm thinking it's like some 50, 60-year-old lady.
No, she was like, young. She was probably like a cousin or something.
I'm saying, I was just like, and she got a boyfriend that's,
I don't know.
Jesus.
But she was just like beep beep, and I was like, I look at my stats and I was like, am I misreading this shit? Like, what's going on? And it was just like, she's like, yeah, I just got my vibrator, and I was like, ma'am, it's okay. You can keep going, ma'am. It's okay. Keep going. And then she just kept going. I was like, okay. And then I was like, that was the craziest thing that happened to me ever again. I don't know how people can just, I mean, I have no problem with it, but like, I would never say, yeah, I got like a vibrator. I'm just like,
I mean, people walk around with butt plugs in.
Yes. But I think I would never say it though. Like in a public place, I would never say, "Girl, I got."
Well, what else is she gonna say? Huh? What else is she gonna say? You just caught her.
She gonna say, "I don't know what's vibrating." Like, I mean, I didn't have to check her.
But she wouldn't be able to go inside.
I don't know. I was gonna pass her regardless because I didn't want to see that. But I was just like, "Man, I'm just curious. I don't hear things vibrating." And she was just like, "Yeah, you got a vibrator." And I was just like, "Oh, you're good."
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing that happened.
Oh my God. Lord, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what I would have done. I've only done that a few times, and I never did the ones. So I just always stood off to the side. Yeah.
No, I was like, let me do the ones.
What else has been going on? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. I spent Thanksgiving with my husband and his family. It was pretty nice. My dog ate a 20-pound bag of chicken, and then she had like diarrhea for the whole day. So.
Huh?
So, I have a big dog. I have a Great Pyrenees.
I don't know what that kind of dog is.
It's like a golden retriever, but bigger, but white.
Okay. I think I might have saw one of those past my
So, I didn't tell my husband, I don't like turkey, I don't like pork, so let's just put chicken on the counter so it can thaw. And we bought a bag of, 20-pound chicken wings, and I left it open so it can thaw faster. When I came in the morning, the bag was in the floor with no chicken. I'm like, what?
The bones are gone too.
Everything. I was like, what's going on? And then the house stank. So when I walked, like, the carpet, because my apartment's hardwood, but the carpet in the living room that I bought, it was just shit all over. Like, it was just diarrhea. And I was like, there's no way I'm cleaning that up. So I just rolled it up and threw it away. But it was good besides that. It was like everything was, we usually didn't have no meat because everything was closed. So I was to buy meat. But besides that, we still had, like, the baked beans, the red rice, mac and cheese, potato salad. It was pretty good. It was pretty nice.
Oh my Lord. My Thanksgiving was all right. I talked about it already to you guys, but it was all right. I was planning on going to one of my buddy's house that I used to work with. And I woke up that morning, depression was like, no, you're staying in the house today. And I tried all day. I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go. Like, he'll have a few people over, it's whatever. Like, but there was so much going on with my like family at the time. There was so much. I was like, look, I'll just chill. I'll just stay at home. And I texted him. I felt really bad. He ended up bringing me some food though. And my neighbor down the street, he offered me to come over and grab some food. So I went up and grabbed some food and came back. So that was good. But as far as like the last few days, so yesterday, okay, so I've not been in my depression slump, but you know how like if you might not be depressed, you might not necessarily be anxious, but you're like extremely irritable and like aggravated all the time and stressed, and like anything just sets you off.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of the like phase that I'm in right now, like since like for like the last 2 or 3 days, which is like better than being depressed. Because at some point I have energy, right? I got a lot of energy. I'm motivated. I can do things. But like, as the last few days went on, yesterday I tried to film this video for the channel, and it took forever to record. And it was gonna be like a 2-minute video. Okay, it took forever to record, which I want to try and record it again, probably after you leave. So that since everything's already set up, but it was so annoying because when I went to edit it, there was no audio. I was so mad. And Mickey was running around, and he was climbing up. I was over it. I was over it. Yes. Over it, I bet. This guy tried to scam me online. He's like, I have pictures of you. This is this, and I'll leak them. I was like, I'm gonna let you know right now that everybody in the world has access to knowing what's going on with me because of my podcast. Yeah. They all know I have a sex addiction. So if you got anything of me, which I'm assuming that he knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, because I don't know this dude. I'm assuming if that's the case, I'm like, go ahead. There's stuff already out there. Oh, so man. Try me, please. And he's like, unless you give me $2,700, why do you need $2,700? Why not like $2,500 or $3,000? Like, I understood, like, so I was thinking, like, if he needs something, like, that's Mickey. If he needs, like, money for, like, I don't know, something that costs, like, $2,600 and, like, 99 cents, something like that, okay, but, like, if you're going to steal it from somebody, why don't you just steal, like, $5,000? Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I would do. It was right. That's what I would do. So then he was like, well, if you send the money today, I'll take half. I was like, what? Boy, I was like, look, you doing too much. Like, I'm not. But it bothered me. I think it still bothered me because I'm just already stressed out and like aggravated already. Like, I woke up the other day from a nightmare. Mickey was on top of Minnie, like messing with her ear and making her like and stuff. And I was just like, move. And I like pushed him off.
Honestly, that happened to me. Somebody tried to scam me. He was like, back in my single days, I was a grinder, and he was a gorgeous person.
That's how
and
he always starts.
He was like, oh, like, I don't like texting and grinding. You only give me phone number? I was like, sure, okay. And then he was like, oh, to come visit you, I don't have gas money. Can you send me $20? I was like, no. And then after a couple of notes, he was like, oh, no, it was not for me. It's for my sister. She didn't have enough food. I was like, still no. And then after, like, I was like, no. He was like, you know what? I'm going to tell your family that you're on Grindr. And I was like, okay, where my family lives. And he's like, I know the street they live in Beaver. And I was like, boy, bye. My family don't even in Beaver. So I was like, bye.
Wow. I tell you, these people are wild out here. But besides that, like, today, I wasn't really feeling that great. And I told myself, you know, when I get up and I shower, I'll finally feel a little bit better. I went to sleep earlier last night. Did I? Probably not. I ain't been sleeping that well. How's your sleep been?
I slept horrible. I had to wake up at 4 a.m. today, and yesterday I went to like at 1 a.m. Yeah. I bought this new game for my Switch because my birthday's tomorrow. A new game for my Switch. Oh, I thought you said a Disney game. No, I bought multiple new games. Like, I mean, one of y'all probably say I'm immature, but whatever.
Speaking of which, let's wish him happy birthday because by the time y'all seeing this, everybody. Actually, I'll probably get this up tomorrow, but on his birthday. But yeah,
thank you. But no, I like Mario games, so I bought like Super Mario Party, and then they had
like those old.
Huh?
Yeah, but continue.
Oh no, but I bought like some kids game and I've been like playing it all week. And yesterday I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep early, and then 12 came, 1 came, 1:30, and I was like, fuck. Nope. And then I just went to sleep and I was like 2 hours.
That's cool. That's cool. So yeah, I've been trying to eat more too. We went and got Zaxby's today, which was like the first time I think I ate fast food in a long time. And I didn't eat all of it, but I ate a good bit of it. I'm still feeling pretty full. So my eating has dropped off a lot even since we were in outpatient. And I was struggling to eat more. Yeah. Things got a little bit worse. It's a little bit worse, but a lot bit worse. And then better, and then worse. I gotta get a colonoscopy. I think I might have told you that.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Oh my god. And so when I went for my colonoscopy consult, they told me I need to get an endocrinopathy, which it goes down my throat.
Yes.
Right, and I'm like, so I'm just let y'all know, don't purge. Like I understand, like sometimes it's all we can do. Jesus Christ, it can destroy you. And starving yourself or binge eating, like all that, is just, oh Jesus Christ, it's a lot to take in.
A million nasty jokes. It's just my head was just like, and I was just like, I'm gonna just keep it casual.
Okay, well, speaking of jokes, pass me that. All right, so today, as part of our Human Library series, there's gonna be a few different games you guys get to see because y'all already know me. I don't like to sit here and just have a boring, very depressed podcast. We gotta be having fun in some way, and I definitely want to bring this since we won't have the continuity of you guys knowing this person all the time, which we could probably have you on the podcast again for sure, definitely. But pick a color, of course. Well, I'm writing, but. Just to make sure that we keep it lighthearted and kind of just like ease us into it before I don't know what the conversation what his story is yet, just like you guys, and so maybe some of this will prompt some things and whatnot. So what this is called word association. You've heard of it before?
No. Word
association. So pretty much word association is you get a word and within a certain amount of time you have to write down. Oh yeah. You're using this. I don't know why I'm using this. You have to, what you're going to do in this case is you're going to write down as many things as you can that that makes you think of it. Like just whatever the case may be. It doesn't have to be, mental health categorized. It doesn't have to be about your the story that you're going to tell. It doesn't have to be about anything specific. Just as soon as you hear the word, write whatever you have down, and you have a time of 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Not 10 seconds, sorry. I ain't even enough time to. So, let me pull up my handy dandy timer.
So, like what? Like you say movies, and I'll be like Avengers?
Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so anything that, yeah. Matter of fact, I'll give you 20 seconds because writing can be.
By the way, I'm just letting you know, you'll see me right now before I be in RuPaul's Drag Race in 2 years. Right.
You gonna do it?
Hell yeah.
You better.
My name Jayla Frost.
Jayla Frost.
And that'll be my name, RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes. I have not seen you in drag.
I have pictures.
Yeah, you have to show me.
I will show you pictures.
You have to. Can I put them on there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have to show me the pictures too. So look some more right here for these pictures.
Yes,
look right here.
Yes, I'm gonna put all those pictures right here.
Because I need to see those. Oh, I love Jack so much. Okay, are you ready for your first one? All right, 20 seconds on the clock. Cue the dramatic music. Look, I ain't got dramatic music, but maybe I'll play some dramatic music in the background. Look, technology, okay? Got it. Ready? All right, 20 seconds on the clock. Your first word is snack.
Okay.
10 seconds.
Jesus.
5, 3, 2, 1.
Done.
All right, what we got? All right. Stop Stop! I already stopped you. All right, so we got Oreo. You read it.
Oh, so I have Oreos, and then I got milk because you cannot eat Oreos without milk. Obviously, it goes together. Kit Kats, chocolate, cookies, and Bimbo. It's a kind of cookie. That's my favorite.
Is that the Hispanic one?
Yeah, they're like
yeah.
waffle flavors.
Yeah. Okay, I don't think I've ever tasted them.
It's so fucking good.
Is it?
And then eat it for breakfast with coffee. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
So why'd you put so many foods down?
I was trying to keep it clean. Because I was.
I label them all as mature.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, because I was about to put
what else are you
I
gonna
would put dick, pussy, ass. I'll put all that.
Okay.
Yeah. Jason Momoa.
Yeah. See, that's what you should put. So, Oreos. Kit Kats. Is these your favorite snacks, or these
yes,
the first thing that came up to mind? Okay.
I don't like snacks, but Oreos and Kit Kats are.
So just a question. If just knowing me, if I heard snack, what's one of the things you would think I would write down?
White college dudes. Because you've been posting on your Snapchat for the last past week.
I got a type, I got a type, and look. They've been popping up on my Instagram timeline. So I take the picture and I post it on my Snapchat. I gotta have it.
Or I just think little things that you can eat, chew on at night.
Yeah.
Because you don't eat a lot, so I'm guessing you just eat little things.
Yeah. So
from here and there.
One of the biggest reasons why I want to put snack is because I think it when it comes to people, we just think of things differently, right? Yeah. Everybody has a different perspective on things, and when it comes to snacks, a lot of my snacks end up being nuts or bananas, but also a lot of times when I think of snack, I think of self-esteem, the way I feel about myself, about other people, and one of the biggest things is I probably would put boys, because of my addiction and how much I just absolutely love boys, because which boys are gross. Don't mess with boys, right? All right, next one. Erase it. All right, next we have frenzy.
What's that?
Frenzy, like crazy, not something like a tornado can be a frenzy. Hey Google, what is frenzy?
Here's the definition of frenzy: a state or period of uncontrolled excitement or wild behavior.
Bam.
Okay.
Frenzy.
Oh, wow.
20 seconds on the clock.
I got it.
And go.
Um,
10 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Done.
All right, what we got?
I put a little bit more,
Okay, there you go. You actually,
okay. So I put a club. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, or fights.
Yes,
a
lot. Yeah. I put alcohol. Alcohol can make you act frenzy. Act all wild and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I put honeymoon and wedding go together.
Okay.
Wedding just a more emotional, out of control. You're out of control. Oh my god, I'm getting married.
Emotions just all over.
Crying, about to pass out and shit.
Yeah.
And honeymoon, everybody knows what happened in the honeymoon.
What happens in honeymoon?
And I don't know what came to mind, but in Atlanta, there's a sex place called Tokyo Valentino. It's a sex house. And that just came to my mind. And I just put it down.
What does that say? Honeymoon? Okay, yeah.
Wedding, alcohol, sex stores.
Okay, so when it comes to wedding, like you said, you have emotions all over the place. A wedding can be pretty frenzy-ish, frenzy-like. Yeah, right? Yeah. From so I've been divorced 3 times, right? And so from my right. So from my point of view, weddings are very frenzy because when I go to them, especially like with me, I'm a very envious person. I've learned that about myself since like therapy. I'm a very envious person, and it really cuts me off from like being in the moment and enjoying things, right? And so like when I go to a wedding, I've only been to one since mine is pretty hard on me, you know, like, and so it's not so much excitement, even though there is a lot of excitement, you know, it's really rough. I was even crying because like I was just like, it was just so hard. I'm like, Jesus, like I want that to be me forever. You know, like they're so happy, they're in their prime, and like, so like that kind of stuff is really hard. Like, so just as a question, like if you know somebody, for instance, if you were to get married again for whatever reason, you know, if you were to invite somebody who you know has gone through something like that, how would you, you know, like talk to them, help them, invite them, or comfort them during? How would you? I feel like that's a tough question, but.
So basically asking if like if I was to get married again and I invite you knowing that you went through your thing, how would I invite you? Well, I feel like if we fuck like that, we're really friends. Like let's say I get divorced and you invited me to your wedding and you invited me to your wedding, I would be really happy for you. Because even though, yeah, a wedding can be an early stage of knowing like if this is gonna last forever or not, it's just the one that I should both marry or not. I feel like as your friend, I'm happy that you found happiness. And especially if I know what you're going through, like, you know, if I know that you've been wanting to be married or you've been wanting to find the one, I feel like for me, it would be an honor to be with you that day, standing, looking at you being happy.
And it's just easy for you to like not think about your past and your feelings.
I don't think it's easy. I think like, yeah, like if I were to go to a wedding and I would get divorced right now, I would be like, oh shit, like my ex, like, you know, what happened? But I feel like I wouldn't feel more as sad. I feel more encouraged that if you did it, why couldn't I? Or like if you did it again, why can I not find it again?
Right.
And I'll be more encouraged and I'll be like, okay, let me work on myself and let me have my own standards. And he did it and he went through like all this stuff. So that means that there's hope for me.
I mean, so I have a friend who she can't get pregnant, but her best friend also couldn't get pregnant, but she is magically now. And it's rough.
I bet, yes.
Yeah, so, you know, like, especially her family, because her family really wants her to have a kid, and, like, her family also loves her friend, so it's all rough. But, all right, thank you for that one. Next one. All right. You ready for this one? Looney bin. Looney nut. Looney house. Looney bin.
Like Looney Tunes?
Looney. Yeah, like Looney Tunes, but like Looney.
Cartoonish?
Looney bin. Or like a loony house, or like a psych ward.
Okay, what about psych ward?
My word, psych ward. There's your word.
Okay.
Oh wait, 20 seconds on the clock. Go. $15. Make sure it's still recording. Happily recording. Yep. 3, 2, 1. All right.
So
let's go.
I wrote restraints.
Okay.
I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when I was 11.
You were diagnosed with what?
Bipolar disorder.
When
I was
11?
11 years old, yes. I didn't take it as seriously. I was like, this bluffing, whatever, it's not that bad. Until I really got out of control. And I was even arrested and everything. Because I was like, I got in a fight in school.
What age was that when you got arrested?
I was 13.
Okay.
I wasn't taking my pills or anything, so I got arrested and I ended up going to the psych ward for a long time. And at that time, I was like in denial, like, no, I don't have a mental disability. I'm good. I wasn't taking my pills, so they put a lot of restraint on me. Like, you know, the thing.
The straight jacket.
Yes, and then they like push in the room and all this other stuff. So that's the first thing I think about a psych ward. Another thing I think about also is depression, because I feel like I was a lot depressed more when I was in the psych ward because I was restrained. Mm-hmm. I couldn't do the things that I wanted to. Mm-hmm. I was more depressed than if I was in the outside world.
Right, yeah.
However, I also find that in a psych ward, there's a lot of understanding and help that you build community and family.
Nice. Oh, that's nice. Is that all you got?
Yes.
Okay, so
what about you?
So first, your experience in the And were you inpatient? Was it an inpatient facility?
I was inpatient, yes.
Okay, so,
Have you seen Shameless?
yeah.
Remember when Ian went to the psych ward? It was
Yeah.
basically the same thing.
Okay, right,
So
okay.
basically the same
Makes sense. It was residential.
Yes.
But to a more inpatient level?
Yes, and more inpatient, and it was
Okay.
more like a psychotic, like kind of
Yeah,
psych ward.
okay.
Yeah.
So, with your experience, once you say you were diagnosed at 11, how were you before then? Do you remember? Did your parents ever talk about it? Did they ever deny it, not want you to go? You know, what was that kind of...
I come from a very religious family,
Right.
religious background. I come from an Afro-Latino family, Black and Hispanic family.
Yeah.
So I feel like in our community, there's no such thing as mental disabilities.
You know, I talked about that on actually the first audio podcast that I recorded last week. I talked about black culture
Yes.
and others, and how mental health basically like doesn't exist or is not like thought of, or like
Yes.
No, you don't have a mental health issue. Yeah.
So whenever I was depressed or something, I was like in bed for multiple days. I would come from a very wealthy family. So my mom was like, "What can you be depressed about? You have everything." Or
Yeah.
"Why are you crying?" Or "Why are you going maniac? Like, go to sleep." Or "If you don't do this, I'm gonna take your phone away or your Xbox," whatever at the time we had. And it didn't really happen until I had like a really, 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 really maniac depression that I like stopped talking, I stopped eating. I didn't get out of bed for like 5 days. I didn't use the bathroom. I didn't know how I did it. But that they like, concerns were made, and my mom took me to the hospital and they came with the diagnosis. Even though my mom, "Oh yeah, you have a mental disability," she really didn't believe it. They're really religious, so they thought like they could pray it away.
Right,
You pray it away. You didn't need these pills, blah blah blah. And at that time I had that mentality too. I was like, "Oh, God can do this. I don't need no pills, blah blah blah." So I just didn't take my pills. And when I went to the psych ward, I feel like that was like a slap in my face, because that's when I realized, like, I was like, "Oh shit, like I really have this, like it's an actual thing." And that's when I started seeing things differently from my family than the way they raised me.
I get that. When it comes to me with a psych ward, I never ever want to like go to somewhere that was like to treat mental health or to stabilize anyone, whether it's mental health or, substance abuse or anything like that. My sister went a few years ago. She had tried to attempt suicide. And the only thing I could think of, and that will cause like humor about the situation, but the only thing I think of was on Good Burger. You saw Good Burger?
Yes.
When Keenan or Kel, whichever one it is, I think it's Kel, was the tall, skinny one. Mm-hmm. Whenever he was in the psych ward, and they were in there singing the songs and all this stuff, and that was the only thing I could think of. Mm-hmm. And granted, I haven't been to, like an inpatient style, like residential, like where it's, really, that style. The inpatient I went to seemed like it. Yeah. Granted, which they did have straitjackets, and they did have whole rooms, like rooms you put people in a hole or whatever, and it was horrible. But plus, that was only I was only there for a week, and it wasn't nothing, too much I couldn't handle. I definitely did not enjoy being there. Yeah. I felt like it made me, if there was any word to make me feel like I was crazy, it would be crazy. Yeah. And if there was any place to make me feel like I'm actually crazy, it was that place, because they put me in the wrong spot, in the wrong section. They put me with the people who are psychotic with actual psychosis. Which, if you don't know what psychosis is when you can either hear things or see things that other people can't. And it goes deeper into that, but that's just like the basic overlay. So those were the people I was with, and I didn't understand what was going on. I just thought that I thought that the doctors thought I was at that level, that severe of a level that I needed to be there, and I wasn't. And it made me question, like, am I? And I'm just in denial. Yeah. So I also used to call like outpatient the psych ward, because there are so many of us in there, but it's definitely different. And we talked about treatments before, guys, and so I don't want you to think treatments is insane. Yeah. But the only reason why I wanted to bring it up, because especially is loony bin, because a lot of people call it loony bin. From, I know probably where you're from, so it was shocking that you probably haven't heard that before. Mm-hmm. But like where I'm from, and more like urban areas, southern areas, Midwest. A lot of times it's called loony bin, and so that's a word that I really want to get out of like the air, So, yep, that's that for the game. I guess you can put that back over there actually. Yeah, so I'm not necessarily sure if we did already kind of brush a little bit into the story that you want to tell us as the book, but I want to say for all your sharing that you have done thus far, I commend you. It's really difficult to share a lot of things, especially this isn't even necessarily people that like can see us.
Yeah, of course.
Me, but people are going to see it, and your family, your friends, all of them. If you share with them, they'll see it. Those kinds of things. So I commend you for just opening up, regardless of whatever the case may be, whatever it's about. And also, I think you got a crazy life, so
yeah,
I know some things. So yeah,
most definitely.
But yeah. So just however you want to tell your story, that's what we're here for.
Okay, so cool. So let me start with the basics. So like I said, I come from an Afro-Latino family, Hispanic and Black family. I moved to the United States when I was in...
Pause.
Bro.
Good. Still recording. Lit.
Okay,
All right.
cool. So I come from an Afro-Latino family, Black and Hispanic. I moved to the United States when I was around 5th grade. I lived in the United States before. I went to Boston. I lived in Chicago, New York, Fort Myers.
Jeez.
And my parents were like, "Oh, you need to learn Spanish." Moving back to Puerto Rico, and then I moved over here.
When did you move back to Puerto Rico?
When I was in 3rd grade.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yes.
I see.
So, born here, raised here, moved back to Puerto Rico when I was in 3rd grade. Moved back here when I was in 5th, 6th grade, and then kept living over here. I'm a pastor's kid. So imagine being Black, Hispanic, pastor's kid, and gay. That's like the worst thing that it can happen to a family.
Right.
In their eyes.
Right, yeah.
Also, mental disability is not a thing in my family. Coming out gay to my parents, atrocious. I was sent to like a de-gaying Christian psychologist.
Like pray the gay way?
Yes, pray the gay way. And I felt like it wasn't helping. So I lied and I was like, yeah, I'm not gay anymore, so I could finish the sessions. And then my mom really truly believed that I wasn't gay anymore until I got married and I got engaged and I got like a boyfriend and all that stuff, and I told her, and it was really shocked to her.
You just
yeah.
The order you just went in. You got married, then engaged, then had a boyfriend.
Oh well.
Is it vice versa or
vice
you married
versa,
before
the other way around. So
just make sure.
got a boyfriend. Once I got engaged, told my mother about it because it was more serious.
Yeah.
And then once I got married, my mom like almost passed out. She like,
oh man,
this cannot be happening. Blah 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 blah. So I was like, hey, mom, it is what it is. Like whatever. I love my parents. They were really great parents. However, they were very judgmental at everything.
Yeah.
I remember me not trying to come out to my parents. I remember when we used to go to Universal, mom was like, oh, why are they holding hands? That's so like not right. And I was like, yeah, oh, shit, like I'm not even gonna say anything. Yeah, I joined the Marine Corps. My sister is currently in the Army. And we did not turn out as my parents wanted us to turn out. Like literally opposite, completely opposite.
Do we ever?
Yes, complete opposite. Like, my mom wanted my sister to be like a doctor. She said, fuck it. She said infantry or blah, blah, blah.
Right.
My mom wanted me to be like a lawyer, a musician. I said, fuck it. I'm over here in the Marine Corps. So it's like, for the longest, I feel like when I came out to my parents the second time after the decaying camp, and I was like, hey mom, like that never worked.
Right, yeah.
It was harder, and I feel like it triggered a lot of my mental disabilities. And that's why I went, because even after I moved over here, I still went to like a inpatient. Mm-hmm. I still went to a lot of therapy. I went to the therapy that we met. It was a lot because I'm a very family man, and just growing with a person that you adore and you love, your parents, you know, we were really close. Like our family was like really great. And then just like going from that to, hey mom, I'm gay, to, you know, how to come back to my house. It was like a lot. I mean, now we're cool. Like she has grown out of it. She calls me. She asks about my husband. How you guys doing? Boy, you guys need anything? But it took a while. It took like 3 years, 4 years almost. And yeah. And that's basically like the base of my story. That's
so. You said you think that's the reason why you have like for a lot of your mental disabilities today. Is there any specific point in your past where a lot of the stuff you see today you saw at that point?
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, like what?
I feel like it was discouragement, distrust, and just like not credibility.
What do you mean?
So
like people trusting you, or you?
No, so like
credibility.
Credibility. Yes, whatever.
Words.
Whatever you say, yeah, words.
Yeah.
Back then, when it was happening to me, my mom was like, "There's no way it's happening. Like you're crazy. Like, this cannot be happening to you." And it made me think that I was crazy.
Okay.
So even I didn't take care of myself. So I was like, "Yeah, she's right. I'm crazy. There's no way I can be going through this."
And you kind of see some of that now too.
Mm-hmm. So then when I was like, "Hey mom, I'm gay," the first time, there's no way. That's crazy. You're just confused. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm confused. And like every time I thought about something, I got really depressed. It led to my suicide attempts. It led to other things. Starting to, now that I had like a stable relationship, got married and everything. Hey mom, I'm married. Well, that's crazy. Your marriage is not gonna last. You cannot come home. Gay marriages don't last because she pulls the Bible and keep reading the Bible. And for me, my sister is like very important to me because me and my sister grew up really close. Yeah. And she was like, you can't see your sister, or you can't talk to your sister, or you're not around in my house. So that from my parents that I like, because I really adore my parents a lot, just that, it led to me being more depressed, which led to problems in my marriage, possible divorce at the time, and then just like my mom, possible divorce, got worse, my mental health.
Right, yeah.
And it was like again and again and again. And then it wasn't not even just from her, like from my whole family, because at this time I found an actual relationship that I didn't want to share with the world. And I told my grandma, my family. So I'm the first grandson, grandson, great-grandson. I'm the only male. Wow. I'm the only male in my mom's side of the family. Wow. I was the only male for 18 years. And then, so everything was like, oh, you got to look up to Kev, or he's going to be the example of the house. And one day he's going to be a great preacher, a great pastor. And he's going to have a family and kids. And, you know, they had like this whole plan that I was going to show the world, like, who our family was. And I was going to be the example of the family. And then once, like, I told them, like, hey, no, I'm married to a dude. And hey, no, like, that's not what I believe, or this. It was very hard because they're like I said, my family still is, but at that moment, it was very judgmental. And it was like my family at the moment back then, it was like they don't care who's feeling their hurt, they're gonna get their point across anyways.
Geez, so expectations suck, right?
Yes,
because
most definitely.
Expectations can cause a lot of resentment. We learned that. Those expectations, though, which obviously I know, like, just them having those kind of expectations on you always put, you know, some kind of burden on your shoulders.
Yes.
But I think my question for you is, with those expectations, did you ever feel like in some aspect you want to make things up to them? Because I know, so for instance, with me a lot, when I know that somebody has expectations for me, whether they're what I want or not, whether they're realistic or not, they become typically they're a person that I respect or I love. And I want to show them that I'm worthy or good enough.
Yes.
But without your necessary expectations. But excuse me, in a different way. Do you ever feel like you wanted to go that route, or that you were just like, I don't need to do anything to prove anything to you guys?
Most definitely. And when I moved back to the United States, I met this girl named Monica. And I was
Hey,
like,
it's not like you said.
I was like,
My nigga.
yeah, no, Monica. Her name was Monica.
Monica.
Great person, beautiful woman.
Uh-huh.
She's an amazing person. She's like, I love her as a friend. Like, she's amazing.
Yeah.
We became really close friends, and literally, she's like my female twin from another mother. Like, we like look alike. We like the same stuff. Our sense of humor is the same.
Uh-huh.
So my parents and my family was always like, "Oh my gosh, she'd be the perfect wife. Like, you guys look alike. Your kid's gonna be gorgeous." And I was like, you know what? Maybe I will try it. And like, I did date her. I did love her. She's an amazing person as a person. I loved her.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where like I can tell that my mom was disappointed in me because I came out to my mom. She sent me to a DJing camp or whatever, and then you can see the disappointment. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something big, and I proposed to her.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm gonna marry her. You know, like if I have to, like drink a Viagra to just have sex or something, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna make my family proud. It don't matter what. I'm gonna make it up to my family. And it was to the point where I realized that I was making. How do I say this? I was hurting her more than I was hurting myself.
You were hurting your mother or
my
best
girlfriend,
friend?
my girlfriend at the time. I was hurting her more because she loved me deeply, and I already knew who I was and what I wanted, and I already knew that it was probably not even gonna last, but I was still gonna drag it out. And it got to the point where I felt guilty. So like I sat down with her. I'm like, hey, like this is what's going on. This blah blah blah. I'm gay. Like I've been with dudes before. Because she was really Christian too.
So she didn't know any of that?
She didn't know any of that. No, my family knew.
Oh, okay. So this was that early.
This is that early. So no, my family knew. So like, I've been with dudes before.
So you definitely felt like a sellout.
Yes. So I was like, hey, like, to be honest, like my mom didn't ask me to get you engaged, but I did it for my mom. I explained everything. Like I laid everything on the table. And she was pretty hurt, but the part that made me even love her more at the time, she understood. And she was like, well, I don't want you to marry me if you don't feel that way. And she's very understanding. And then we apologized, whatever. We called off the wedding. Everything went good. And then about a year after, I met my current husband. Oh, wow. And then I told my mom, which my mom didn't know that we broke up because I came out as gay to her. My mom just thought we broke up because it was not going to work. She's like, Mom, it's not going to work. And my mom was really devastated. And then a year and a half after that, I met my husband. And we got married and everything. And my mom was horrible. I mean, I love you, Mom. Love you, Mom. But she was like horrible at the beginning, and now she's doing way better. Yeah.
I definitely get that. My mom was very, very, very much not like she is today about my sexual orientation, my relationships and whatnot.
Yes.
But I felt like a sellout before. I was married to my ex-wife, right, who I was going to have a family with. And granted, it's not anybody's business what I'm doing in my bed or not in my bed. But, like we weren't having sex or any of that kind of thing. But she was my best friend. I loved her to death. And we wanted to have a family together, regardless. I mean, I wasn't going to be able to have sex with her to get her pregnant. But we were going to go through, treatments, all those kinds of things. And we got married. My mom supported us 100%, more than really she had with my previous marriage to my ex-husband. And it was definitely a hard feeling because when she came to visit for my birthday, we were doing all these things. And in that moment, I was just thinking, I wish I could have had this for myself, for my marriage to my ex-husband. I would have loved to have her support in this
yes, most definitely.
thorough way. My mom, she tried. She took us to eat for my birthday and met his family and helped us with when we would move in, housewarming gifts and cars, all those kinds of things. And she would sparingly ask about him, but it definitely was not anything near what I would have wanted, but I already knew the case, right? I'm not going to go looking for something I know I'm not going to necessarily get.
Exactly.
This is going to hurt me even more. But just like I said, I start to feel like a sellout because it's oh, she's doing all this now and, bragging, and that gets hard because it's dang, I could have been perfect. I could have been, normal. I could have been straight. I could have been what you want. And so, that gets rough. And that definitely plays a lot on me today, because even now, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but, I'm sure people probably do, I look for so much validation from her.
Most definitely.
And it's hard,
Yeah.
because I'm a grown man now. You're a grown man, right? Like, looking for validation in your mother, or, one of your loved ones who, especially if they don't live near you, like, you're really hoping that they see everything you do.
Oh, most definitely.
And that gets exhausting.
Like, it's like, I come to mom every day, or mom, which pillow should I buy for the couch? Or, look, I got the house clean.
Right.
Or, mom, like, I don't know, some stupid stuff. I just, like, because I like when she's like, oh, you're doing a good job. Like, mom, my credit score went up 5 points. Like, I'm doing great.
Right.
And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm proud of you.
That one time that she visited, that wasn't only one time, but my mom's visited me like a good handful of times, more than anybody else has. But when I was in Arizona, she was like really proud of like my house and the way I lived, and she told me like, I'm really proud of you. And that made me feel good, especially because at that same time I was feeling like a sellout, and I was feeling bad, and I was just feeling all these negative feelings. She visited here. She was like, "This is good. This is nice." Those kind of things. I really really fueled me, and it always makes me want to do more. But that like needing validation, because it bleeds over into relationships.
Yeah.
Like just that constant need for validation. So with you growing up and having that denial and never being able to really get that acceptance from like your family, has it been an easy or a rough road for you to like learn how to accept yourself with all that without everybody else?
Yes. So when I was little, obviously when you're kids, you like think like your parents because they raised you.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was little, my mom was always like, "Oh, you can pray anything away." So I remember I used to cry on my knees every night, asking God, "Please don't make me gay. Please don't make me gay. Please." Every night, every freaking night, I used to just beg, just like, "God, please don't make me gay." And I love God. I still believe in Him and everything. But and then I think it wasn't until I was in 10th grade or 11th grade that I was like, I'm gay. Like, there's no fucking denying it. I'm fucking gay.
Yeah.
And that's when I started loving myself even more. But living under my parents' roof was hard being gay, because I did have high school boyfriends and little boyfriends here and there, little hookups. And I was like, oh shoot, I can never bring him to mom. So there's not even a point of me dating you. Or I can't even talk to mom about it, or dad. So there's not even a point of me just speaking to you. It was more of me, let's hook up, let's get what I need, and then let's just go about my way. Once I went off to college and I came to the Marine Corps, that's when I was like, I found more of the courage of loving myself and letting other people know about myself, and letting my parents know, especially my family. And I always told myself that I was never gonna tell my mom that I had a boyfriend until I felt like I met someone that I am either gonna spend a long time with, or I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with. And then my current marriage, I feel like that was the person. So I told my mom, "Hey mom, straight up honest with you, I'm engaged." Mm-hmm. And she didn't take it well or everything, and it was really rough, because even it's really hard having a doctrine that is stuck in your head for 20 plus years, because it's like, if you're gay, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
You know the Bible from Genesis all the way to Revelations, and according to the Bible, this is the end of times and stuff like that. So it's really hard, because I am currently married. Yes, I'm happy, but at the same time, I still have that in my mind. And sometimes, if me and my husband get in an argument today, I'm like, fuck, is this even worth it? Am I going to hell? Am I going to heaven or stuff like that? And sometimes I just have that in my mind. Yeah. And then my mom, honestly, she loves my husband, but she doesn't help either, because sometimes she's like, listen to this preaching, the end of times, repent yourself.
Oh my God.
And then she sent me an hour preaching. I'm like, okay, mom, I got it.
My ex-husband's grandmother used to do that.
Yeah.
So both of us.
Yeah, so it's sometimes it's just it's hard, because I am happy with the thing that I am now. And I have told this to my husband too. I'm super happy married right now. I am extremely happy. But there's just those days that you sit in the bed just in your own thoughts. And, the Bible plays in my head, and you're going to hell, and and all this other stuff. And it's been really hard, the road, to learn how to love myself. But lately, I have learned how to love myself even more without caring about nobody's opinion.
Yeah, love yourself unconditionally.
Yeah,
regardless of everybody else. That's good. So kind of with all that being out there, was there any specific moment in your life where you were like particularly like overjoyed and like on top of the world, or like overwhelmingly like depressed or sad or just like done with everything?
Yes, most definitely.
And it doesn't match up with any time like in the last few years.
Yes. So when I got out of high school, I got into Juilliard's. I felt, woof.
Yeah.
I'm going to the best school ever. Until like a couple of months before that, I'm like, okay, let me see what my budget is. You know, I'm gonna pay. And then motherfucker says $36,000 a semester. I was like, oh, like,
yeah.
I can't go there. And my family always wanted me to be like some kind of doctor, so I went to medical school. My parents were super excited.
Uh-huh.
And my first test, I spent 72 hours in my dorm room studying so I could get a 40%. And when that happened, when like, my test came back,
oh my God.
At that very moment, I wanted to quit. I was like, I'm gonna go home. Fuck this shit. Like, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I spent 3 days in my room. Like, I was eating ramen noodles.
Yeah,
I stank. Cause I was like, I smell like coffee.
Ain't ate.
Yeah, I smell like armpit sweat because I was just like focused on my studying. And then I got a 40%. I was so like.
You know what I tell people who fail like or don't do well in their finals in college? I tell them, ask for your money back. Because if your teachers did not teach you well enough and you did all this studying and you did what you have to do and you still didn't do well, get your money back and leave the school.
Most definitely.
Like, do it.
The thing with my teacher was that my teacher at the time, I was taking biochemistry, and she wrote the book for the school. So like our book that we're using for the class, she wrote it.
Uh-huh.
And she felt like she was shit. Like she like shit in the school.
Yeah.
And she knew the book from first page to last page by memory.
Uh-huh.
And the only way she took roll in the class was how well you did in the test. So she's like, if you did like an 80 or plus, that means that you were here almost every day. You only missed 2 days of class.
Oh, so she was, wow.
Yes, and she's like,
like that.
Because she was so confident in herself that she knew how to teach.
Yeah.
So she was like,
God,
and
girl.
if you got like a 6 year lower, that means that you either were not paying attention, you were on your phone. And listen, I was paying attention to this motherfucker every day. I was like, and writing my computer and everything. And when I got that 40, I wanted to like jump off the 3rd floor. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Did you stay in school?
I did.
You didn't withdraw?
I didn't withdraw. Later on, for the second exam, I mean, that class I passed with like a high C. Okay. There's no way I could come back from that 40.
Yeah.
But for the second exam, I went to the teacher and I was like, can we get some one-on-one like teaching, because like I don't want to fail. And then I got like into my studies. I was like deep into that shit. And then like cause I was thinking that college was the same thing at high school. Mm-hmm. So in my mind I was like, the first semester of college, fuck it, I'm just gonna take 6 classes. Like I got this. I did it in high school. Yeah. Like what's the difference?
Yep.
In the first semester of college I took 6 classes. And I was like depressed. I was like stressed. I was so sleepy. I was moody. And then the second semester, I was like, 3 classes only. Are you going to catch me again? That's it. But yeah, the first semester was really hard because I really thought I had it in my pocket. Because I graduated with a 4.8 GPA. So class for me always been easy.
Uh-huh.
Like school in general has been easy to me. So I was like, I got this in my pocket. Medical school? Child, please. And I graduated with my nursing degree because I went to school in 10th grade and all that stuff. So I was like,
okay.
I thought I was ahead of the game.
More. Yeah.
No. Fuck no. It was like a slap in the face and I felt like trash. Like I felt like mud. Like people were stepping on me. I was like, there's no way.
When was the last time you felt like that most recently?
Good question. And
do you think kind of things in between led to it, or if it's just always there? Like, do you think that like just deep, I'm garbage, I'm trash, like I tried everything and nothing works and blah, blah, blah. Do you ever feel like that's just like festering in there, just waiting to come out? Or do you think that there was like a trigger that ends up triggering it?
I definitely think it's a trigger.
Because I just know, the bipolar disorder.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if it sometimes just festers.
So for me, bipolar disorder, I get um out of a month, no matter what, if I'm taking my pills or not, I can go either like really psychotic or really maniac kind of thing. If I take my pills, it helps a little bit. Like it is not that bad, but if I haven't taken my pills, then it's like all over the place. However, for me, it triggers it when I thought that I was gonna do something good. Like I was so confident, like walked with like my cock high, like I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna fuck this shit up, and then I come back and it's not what I want it to be. So like recently, um, my husband's mom passed away last year. Actually, her anniversary. She passed away the day before, the day after my birthday. Her anniversary was on Saturday.
Oh wow.
And my husband had a really hard time or whatever. So this year for his birthday, I was like, I'm gonna make this the best motherfucking birthday ever. Like I've been planning out for weeks and months. And the day came and it was just like horrible. It was like horrible. Like a lot of shit was happening. He had homework. I had shit to do. I was working a second job and everything. And it was just like, and I mean, he didn't complain about it. He was like, I like my birthday because he only went out to eat and a couple of drinks or whatever. He was like, I like my birthday. I loved it. But inside of me, like, I was so depressed because I was like, this is not what I wanted him for his birthday. Like, I was planning to go to, like, Dave and Buster's. Then we're going to get fucked up. Then we're going to go to the museum. I was planning all this shit. Like, we're going to go from 8 in the morning. We're going to have beat all the way up. And just that. And I went to, like, a depression state after that. Even though he did tell me that he enjoyed his birthday and that it was his best birthday ever. But it's about what is inside.
Yeah.
And it's because I think also because growing up, my parents expected a lot from me and my sister.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask about
like, we could never get a B. Like, if we got a B, we got slapped in the face, we got spanked, we got beat up.
Yeah.
So it was like A. We had to be the best at everything. Like, I used to play volleyball. I had to be the best at volleyball. When I used to play French horn, I was first chair. Like, there was nothing. Yes. Yes. Like, when I was in college, like, I best at everything. Like, I better not disappoint my mother. And I think, like, I have changed a lot. Like, I don't expect a lot of things from me like that, like I used to before. But there's still that thing in me.
Very extreme thing that you want to. And obviously, so do you think with that, so even though he said that he had a good time, do you still think that you were looking for validation from him? Or at this point, do you think you've gotten over that, looking for validation from others?
At this point, I think I have gotten, it depends. I think I got over it. So with my mom, yes, I call her stuff like that, but if she calls me and she cuts me out and she's like, oh, fuck your marriage, I'll be like, fuck my marriage. Like, I guess so. Before I used to, like, get depressed, cry, drink a whole bottle of, like, Jack Daniels or something, but now it's like, if she calls me or if my grandma calls me or my sister and be like, oh, fuck you, or you ain't shit. Okay, I guess I'm not, or whatever, I'm sorry, I apologize. But I feel like the person that I try to get most validation from right now is my husband. Because my husband didn't have a really good childhood. And when we started dating, I used to trigger a lot of things that happened when he was a kid. Just because of, like, the way I was raised. I was raised with strict parents, so, like, I was strict in the marriage. I was like, no, this has to be done like this. It has to be done like that. Like, you look like my dad, or you thinking, like, when he used to beat me or something like that. I never beat my husband. So I used to, before, he used to get really upset and stuff like that. So now it's like, I try to get more validation from him. Like, hey, did I fucked it up? Hey, did I say something wrong? Did I, like, than from anybody else, to be honest.
Okay, that all makes sense. I get that. I mean, that's positive, actually. I mean, I'm still trying to work on, like, relaxing my validation, but and now in, like, a lot of relationships, like, it can be rough look for validation because you can start going into that codependence, right? And having, like, that all or nothing thinking, especially when you really want to impress somebody, that perfectionist. Altogether, like, I know you say you're doing a lot better at some things. Totally, would you say you've had a good positive total change of your with your experiences and your knowledge, wisdom, your mental health? Would you say you had, like, a pretty drastic change?
Most definitely.
Like, and how?
And I feel like a lot of that change, my husband helped me do a lot of that change, because when I was with my ex-girlfriend, I was like my mom. I was like, it was either my way or the highway. Like, there's no way, like, bitch, like, figure the fuck out. And she was very like, okay, we do your way. So I always had my way, regardless. I had my way no matter what.
Yeah.
Except with my mother, but with everybody else, I was like, okay, my mom teaching me this way, I'm gonna do the same thing. So with everybody else, it was like, my way, the highway. And when I married my husband, he was like, the fuck? Like, we're not doing that. Like, and I'm over here, like, in my brain, like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, what's going on?
Right, yeah.
Like, bitch, like, I'm the man of the relationship, stuff like that. And I'm like, in my mind. But I feel like since I joined the Marine Corps, I have changed so much of the way I used to think about stuff because I grew up in a traditional family. So a lot of my things come from that traditional family, Christian family, all this other stuff. So, like, God forbid my husband ever told me a person he hooked up with. Like, it was like, why can you not talk about that? Like, now I think about it, I'm like, that's stupid. Like,
yeah.
He hooked up with people, I hooked up with people too, we had a past, so why can you not talk about it?
Yeah.
But before, like, if it was like, oh yeah, like, I hooked up with that person we saw in Walmart, I'm over there like, it didn't even have to be my husband, I'm like, what the fuck is this person out here? Like, what are we doing? And I'm not having a whole attitude. And then the attitude led to like the whole day, and then it led to the whole week.
You're speaking my entire truth.
Yes, and it's like, and I used to be really petty back then because it was like, he'd be like, why you mad? Well, because our bitch was at Walmart yesterday, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck he was there and why you like making eye contact. And I'm like, oh, mad, when he had nothing to do with him. And he was like, dog, like, calm down. And I'm over here like, yeah, like my ex-boyfriend. Like, talking about my ex-boyfriend, like, there's nothing, but he couldn't do that. So I feel like with him, I learned a lot. Like, I need to be more patient. I need to be more kinder also.
Yeah.
Because also a lot of people that think like, is it my way or the highway? They're the worst people ever. Mm-hmm. So for me, like, if I didn't get my way, like, you were gonna hear about it. Amen. And I was like, my mom, like, I'm gonna get my point across no matter what. So I'm gonna talk about your mama, your uncle, your daddy, your sister. Like, I don't give a fuck. And I used to be like really aggravating and really arrogant back then. But I feel like just my husband has helped a lot, and just like me trying to get better as a person, I have grown out a lot of things. I have become a better person. I still have a lot to work on.
Yeah, of course.
I have become a better person.
So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna play our last game. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. Easy, right? Makes sense. And so you've done an exercise like this before, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna draw a line straight down the center, or I guess I don't have to limit it, but you're gonna have two sides. One side is kind of representation of, you while you're in your story, like at the beginning of the story, at the beginning of the book, and then you at the end of the book.
Oh, dope. I got it.
Okay, and like we've done masks before, so that's that whole thing. And I will give you 2 minutes. Go.
Done.
Lit.
So
all right.
I guess I had to explain it.
All right. Yeah. Let's see it.
So this is me.
Hold on. Let me take a picture of it.
If you can even understand it, because I was trying to like rush it.
I can't. Oh no, that's the camera. That's not the. Here. Okay, that's right.
Okay, so this is my life before, right?
Uh-huh.
So this is me, and I'm like in jail, and inside my jail are all my expectations that everybody has expected from me. Mm-hmm. Either has to be parents, grandma, whatever. So he says a doctor, a lawyer. I have to be straight. I have to be a pastor. Get married to a woman. All that other stuff. And on the top, let me write in the cloud. In the cloud, it's my own thoughts of what I wanted. So I want to be happy. I want to be a musician. I want to build my own life. I want to be who I am, sexual orientation or not, like whatever it is. I want to be me. Mm-hmm. That's me before. And then me, this is me now. It has 2 walls with everybody else's opinions on the side. So they're just opinions. They're not affecting my life anymore. And then everything in the road that I see, the path that is clear, is what I want to do.
Oh, that's nice. And you got Married to Men behind you?
Yeah. No, like, I didn't have more space on the top. Oh. But, like, that's the street. You understand?
Yeah. That's,
And it's like, I'm happy. I want to be a musician. I want to do this. I want to do that. So.
Nice. That's good. So, with kind of with all this being said, right? So there's lots of people who have stories of, denial. You can put it back over there. Denial and like not being accepted, especially the gay story or having to come out. A lot of times, people, like just like you learned, that you have bipolar disorder. A lot of people get diagnoses, and they struggle. All these different things that you brought up today. Denying yourself or trying different things to please other people. If there was, somebody out there who is going through even half of what you're going through or a different version of what you're going through, what kind of stuff would you say to them for just helping them along with their life,
Well, I feel like everything starts with self-love. I feel like once you find self-love, you find the courage to be who you are. And then once you find the courage to be who you are, it doesn't matter who loves you, who don't, because you're happy. I wish that I could figure that out way before, when I was a teenager or something. I was really scared, because I was living at home and everything. I have a lot of friends that are just, coming out as whatever sexual orientation or whatever they're going on, and I always tell them that the people, the friends that don't accept you or the people that don't accept you, they really didn't love you unconditional to begin with. So why would you want somebody like that at the end of the road?
That's good. Yeah, I like that. I really appreciate you doing this. Like I said, you're the first one that we filmed. I'm not sure if this episode is gonna be first because we're kind of doing a bunch of them all at once, the next 2 weeks. And so editing, all that kind of stuff will depend, but just kind of you're awesome. I'm telling you, when you left, outpatient and therapy before me, even though I was there, I got there right before you did, but I ended up leaving a long time after you. I still looked up to you. You shared a lot. You gave a lot of good feedback, and the importance of just taking care of mental health and yourself and the people around you. So I really commend you. Thank you so much for being here and talking in front of people.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it for inviting me. I ain't gonna lie. The first time I walked and I saw you in that mental, I was like, fuck this nigga, bro. People saying they got me fucked up in boot camp. I'm about to catch hands in here.
But I'm nice.
You are really nice.
Yeah.
I just remember that time you fucked me in boot camp in Firewatch. I was like, whoa, what's going on? And I saw you sitting.
For context, so I was one of the drill instructors. I was one of his drill instructors when he was in boot camp.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I was on Firewatch. I was laughing and joking, and you walked in and you're like, you must think this is a fun place. And I was like, oh, fuck, you fuck me
recruit training must be fun.
Yeah.
What's funny about recruit training?
But yeah.
Those days.
But I really love you and appreciate you.
Thank you. So I guess that's going to be all for today, guys. I want to give a special thanks to anybody who made it to the end of this podcast. And if you want to see the full video, because there's going to be clips of the videos up on YouTube. But if you want to see the full video, you can always go to our website, officialmentallab.com. And you can find those videos of our guests. It'll be of our books. It'll be all over. So don't worry, you can find it. Also want to give a special thanks to anybody who wants to follow, subscribe, social media.
Follow, yes.
I put the social media up somewhere around here. Just make sure you send me all your social media links, but and those track pictures. See those too.
I want to see my drag Instagram too.
So make sure that you support not only Kevin, but support your community. If you're not currently subscribed, make sure you check out our YouTube and subscribe. But with all that being said, I don't have anything else. And
love you guys. See you next time.